And where's John in all of this fighting for custody of his children?
Did John fight for custody of his
No,
children?
no, he abandoned them, from what I understand.
And who are you hearing this from? His wife?
No, a couple people came up to me. I've been getting a lot of texts and emails after the first podcast, and people that knew me when I represented him and told me that, he's an absentee father, and, his kids want nothing to do with him. They don't speak to him. They haven't seen him in ages.
Yeah, I did somebody text you saying they were me?
Oh, I got a fluid text this morning.
Yeah, they're not from me. Somebody's impersonating me.
Someone said that I can't do the show because I already did a show, and therefore you can't pay me. So if you can't pay me, I shouldn't be on your show. So just forget about it. You'll contact me next week or something.
No. That was not from me.
It was a 213 number.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm 917. I'm just telling
you what this person said, and then said, disregard the link. Fuck off.
Yeah, but why would you think that's me? It's not this number I called you the other day from.
I thought it was a different number. I was like shocked.
No. That's not me. I thought somebody. I mean, because in theory you can call somebody from. Anyway, and in this modern world, somebody can impersonate me. Somebody could text me using my number, because that's happened.
Yeah, I know, just like they did.
Yeah, but I did. This is the first I'm texting you, and I only called you yesterday. I have no other. I've not sent you an email. I've not sent you a text since then. That's all nonsense.
Okay.
So can you come on now?
Yeah.
All right. So I sent you the link. Same deal. 60% of the net.
Okay, and I'll text you my Zelle.
Okay, but come on first, because I can't.
Your link is on StreamYard MLC podcast, right?
Yeah, we're on the air now, so don't give any other pertinent information, please.
I'm not.
Yeah, MLC podcast. That's my email. Yeah, so click on that and then come on. Yeah, and then you can send me the Zelle now, but like I said, I won't be able to pay you until I get the net and that'll probably be tomorrow sometime.
That's fine.
Okay, so
I was a little.
Yeah, I swear, I didn't. I thought I was gonna warn you that people might try to contact you and scare you away from me, but yeah, I didn't text you again. I just texted you for the first time, so that's the only number I have. That's the only contact way I contact people. I don't have two numbers.
Yeah, it's really weird because it was. I know that a couple of people are gonna try and come on and badmouth me about John, but I'm on.
Okay, all right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, this is insane. All right, let me see if I can play this. I'm not even gonna try. I think I have to. I thought if I played it on a separate tab that I could, then people could hear me or something. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just have to get to that later. All right, Karen Feldman, you're on the air. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
So John already threatened you yesterday. Did he text you or what is it?
Someone sent me a link to his thing on YouTube, and people were texting me saying that John had caught me writing checks for his production, which is a lie. And I'll explain. When the line producer quit, he refused to hire anyone. And part of her job was writing payroll for the crew. I never wrote a check for myself because I never got paid. I wrote the
Okay,
check
can we go back? How did you meet John?
through a guy by the name of Ed. I forgot his last name. They both lived in, I want to say, Woodland Hills or Calabasas.
Yeah.
And he knew John, and Ed had wanted me to represent him for a project, and he talked to John, and John had said he was looking for a manager, and Ed said, I have a great one for you. She's a real hard worker, and she's a go-getter, and she makes things happen. So we had a breakfast meeting at Jerry's Deli in the Valley.
Sure, yeah, I've been there. So, and he was already working on Jay Leno's show.
Yes, he got fired a little while later.
What do you mean when you said he got fired? That was that 11:30 show he got fired from?
Yeah.
And you're saying he got fired because he told you that?
Yeah, I also heard it from a couple of other agents and managers that warned me not to take him on.
So wait, I'm already confused. So you met him, and then he got fired right after?
I don't know if he got fired before I signed him or after, but I got a lot of people that when they found out, that I was working with him, they warned me and they said, you might have made the biggest mistake of your life and you're going to regret it. And then they told me that he had been fired from Leno because one of the agents represented Leno.
Okay. So did John ever admit that he got fired?
Never. He always acted like he was still there. The funny thing is, though, we worked nights shooting, and he never had to go to work during the day or night.
So do you think he got fired and they never said it publicly because it would look embarrassing for Jay Leno? Because he went out of his way to steal him from Howard Stern, and then
I think there were a lot of allegations. I'm not 100% sure, but there were a lot of allegations against John. Showing up to work either under the influence or smell or whatever it was, and the producers couldn't handle it anymore. This was before the Me Too movement was really big.
Okay, let me pull this up. So we all know this to be true, but just like previously on the Jay Leno show, with the return of Leno's The Tonight Show, when asked about Melendez's new roles, Leno stated that Melendez would appear on The Tonight Show. Leno describes his interplay with Melendez as awkward, saying, I throw to Kevin Eubanks and I throw to John, and I realized that my guy is Eubanks. So my question is, do you think My question is, do you think he got fired and they never said it publicly? Because John never admitted to it, right? And then you
No.
were just hearing about it through agents, right?
I was hearing about it through agents. I heard about it through actors on the set, like the big actors that were with ICM and William Morris, and I heard about it through my friend who got Mark Cuban on the film. She was a cheerleader in Dallas, and he owned the Dallas Mavericks. They stayed close when she moved out here, so he did her a favor, and then I picked him up as a client, and we had talks about John and how he burned me and all that stuff, and he said he's not a good person.
But when the movie came out, they did a segment on the Tonight Show, right? Trying to promote the movie.
Not that I'm aware of at all.
Okay, one of my sources saying that they actually did something on the show, but they could have done that even though John was fired. They could have just done it as a favor, and also they could have paid John the whole time because everybody knows the Tonight Show in that era made a ton of money, and they could have just kept John. They could have just told him, "Don't come by anymore. We'll still pay you. Just don't come by." Because between the smells,
I have a disagreement there because his wife was always complaining about finances.
Complaining to you?
When we would have intense conversations in the kitchen.
And whose kitchen? Whose kitchen? His kitchen?
His kitchen, me and his wife. Because he would always want me to come over to his house, and she would tell me the issues they were having and how much money he would spend and how she didn't know how things were going to get covered because, he didn't have a regular income anymore.
Oh, so she was basically implying that he wasn't getting paid there.
Uh-huh.
And this was before the movie came out.
Way before the movie came out, when we were just in the development phases.
And now, what year was that? 2007?
Early 2007, because we started shooting it. It only shot for 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks with the overtime.
I'm surprised at a Wikipedia page. One Too Many is a 2008 American sex comedy film released under the Lampoon brand, starring Stuttering John. It was directed by Michael DiLorenzo. And then the reception is all, I mean, you guys can check yourself. It's all terrible.
Well, I tried to watch it on a streamer, and I couldn't get past literally 2 minutes. It was so bad.
Is it because, but it was partly because you were mad, you were kind of bitter about your experience of it?
Not even. I wanted to watch it in good faith since Michael DiLorenzo directed it. But everything about it, it was very choppy and it looked like a student film.
And Michael DiLorenzo ended up being successful with other projects?
He did other projects, and they understood why it was so bad was because of the lead actor.
Yeah, John was the lead actor. When you go to the Wikipedia, it was written by, screenplay by, story by, produced by, starring. It was basically a John Melendez.
That's what he wanted. He thought he could, start his career. But when I tried to pitch him for shows and movies, nobody wanted to bring him in.
So you think it was a combination of he has such a bad reputation and did he smell like a BO or like alcohol?
Yeah, both, but BO more so.
So he basically could, and then when you would go to his house, did he smell at his house?
Well, she kept it very ventilated and a lot of spray. And she smelled good because, she was very good with her hygiene and she took care of herself and the kids.
She's a wonderful woman, right?
Yeah, I'm very happy that she got remarried and she got married to a guy that
A real man.
someone that adores his children, because from what I understand, one of his older child got rid of his last name and took the stepfather's last name.
Yeah, that's kind of wild, right?
And I think that that's a testament to the man that she married, that he took these children as if they were his own.
Yep.
And where's John in all of this, fighting for custody of his children?
Did John fight for custody of his children?
No, he abandoned them, from what I understand.
And who are you hearing this from? His wife?
No, a couple people came up to me. I've been getting a lot of texts and emails after the first podcast, and people that knew me when I represented him and told me that, he's an absentee father and, his kids want nothing to do with him. They don't speak to him. They haven't seen him in ages.
So how long did you officially represent him?
2 years, and then I fired him after he burned me.
You fired him after one too many?
Yeah, when he burned me for the money. And didn't say thank you, and didn't even thank me for filling in for line producer, something I didn't even know what I was doing.
I was sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at some super chats. So did it, when through the experience of Stuttering John, did you almost want to not be a manager anymore?
Yeah. With him? Yeah. Because in all my years as a manager, I have represented Academy Award winners like Lou Gossett Jr. and Aaron Moran from Happy Days and Joni Loves Chachi. And I have never been so disrespected by a nobody like he was. Lou Gossett used to pick me up in a limo every time we traveled, or when he took me away for my birthday to a spa and took away my phone for 3 days so that I can actually relax.
Wow.
Got me a villa and 3 massages in 3 days and the works, and wouldn't let us work. It was me, him, and his attorney, and he wanted me and his attorney to play nice.
How long were you Lou Gossett Jr.'s manager?
6 years.
And was it when he was doing like Officer and a Gentleman and stuff like that?
No, it was after he got sober, and I got him All In, the movie, a movie in Canada, another movie in Montreal, the Star Trek series. He was supposed to play the role that Beau Bridges ended up taking, and he got a recurring role. And a couple of others after that. I made a really good amount of money with Lou, and then I got money as, a birthday present or a bonus. And, yes, he cheated his agent, and he cheated me, and he cheated his...
Who did? Treated, Lou. You mean?
No, he cheated Lou, because that's just who he was.
You're saying he cheated. He didn't cheat them, did he?
Yeah, he did.
He cheated them out of what?
Money.
But I thought you said he was great.
At the beginning. At the end, when, you know, he had to pay his attorney 5%, he cut them down to 2.5%. When he had to pay the agent 10%, and me 10%.
What happened that he all of a sudden he wasn't paying people?
He thought he deserved more. He always thought he should be where Morgan Freeman was and Samuel L. Jackson.
But I thought you just said he was a great guy.
He was at the beginning. It was at the end when he started to get physically ill.
Oh.
That he became a different person.
What? And he got cancer or something? He's dead now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he got physically ill from cancer or something?
But he beat it at the beginning, and then I didn't talk to him for a couple of years, and then he contacted me to make an amends. And he wanted me to contact the agent so that he can make an amends, but she wanted nothing to do with him.
So when you said he was drinking when you got him after. So when he was drinking, he was getting a lot of rolls.
Yeah, but then he got sober and he was getting a lot of rolls.
All right, but then he got sick and he didn't want to pay anybody. I think I understand that part. I mean, you know, if you're dying, you're like, hey, I got to take care of my medical bills.
And also, his house had a lot of mold, and it was very old, and his car was very old, and
yeah. But what do you mean? Why was he doing so badly?
He lived in Malibu in this beautiful house, but
he couldn't afford it.
He didn't take care of it for the years that really all there in his head. See, when you're I know from my experience, when I'm using drugs, nothing else matters. But
they wrote a song about that. Metallica wrote a song about that.
I came back into the industry and I had already been sober for 2 years.
But wait, you were in show business and then you got on drugs and alcohol and then you kicked them?
I got out of show business when I started abusing cocaine, which was easily accessible on set. I got out of the industry for a couple of years.
But you know what they say, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Don't they say that?
Yeah, but I got out and then I did accounting for a company that catered to Hollywood. And an agent told me I'd be good as a manager or as an attorney. I was pre-law. I said, no, thank you. I wanted to be a manager. They were very scarce back then. And I did it. And I've been clean and sober for 26 and a half years.
Wow.
Since I was 21.
So wait, well, how long were you in show business for? You said you were in show business, and then you started doing drugs and alcohol, and then you got clean. So were you like a kid actor?
I was in the industry very young, and then I got out.
Sorry, I gotta text somebody. So when you say very young, you're talking about you're a kid actor?
Like 15, 16. I had my SAG card. I did modeling, acting, and then I started doing PA work because I hated being in front of the camera. What it does to females is it makes them a little, you know, the camera puts on 10 pounds and it messes with your head when you're a female. When you're a male, it doesn't really matter. Society doesn't judge males the way they judge females.
You got to take the good with the bad, but they never have a men's night at a bar. They always have a ladies' night. So women are definitely at a premium, and they are a hot commodity when they're younger. As they get older, and not so much. They don't have a women's night for women over 40. That's a fact, Jack. So I don't know where I picked up that phrase from. The point is, we can't really complain too much about how women are treated, because women's got to know going into show business that you got to make it early, and like that Top Gun. Remember the Kelly McGillis, or whatever her. I mean, everybody thought she was hot, or Bridget Fonda. Everybody thought she was hot, and now they look like roadkill. And Tom Cruise still looks like $1 million.
Right. And
would you, if I don't know if you have children or not, would you allow them to get into show business? Isn't show business terrible?
No, I do have a son. He was born in LA, but the minute I could get him out of LA, and I gave my mother legal guardianship so that I could get sober and so that he could grow up and have a normal life. And if he chose to go into entertainment, it would be an option because he's dual citizen here in Canada and the United States.
So you had the son when you were younger?
Yeah, very young. It wasn't planned, but so I sent him back to Toronto. He went to school and he decided to become a teacher. He wanted nothing to do with the entertainment industry. He never smoked, he never drank, and he never did drugs, which was a blessing.
Yeah, you got to get your kids out of LA. I lived in LA, and I moved out of there because I knew I don't want them getting hooked on drugs. Everybody, we live near, that Stoner Park. Literally the name of the park, Stoner Park in West LA.
Yeah.
It's a skater park, but it's a nice park. It's literally called Stoner Park. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Anyway, yeah, it has a great skateboard thing. You can Google it. I'm not saying when I say that you can Google. I'm actually talking to people watching it. All right, let's go through some super chats. Some of them might be insulting to, but I made it members only to stick it everybody. I don't want any free people here. In other news, Joey CO's $14K in unpaid rent. I'll take care of that. Morski became a YouTube member. Thank you, Morski. And thank you for Borgo. Borgo was co-sponsoring this episode, so shout out to Borgo, everybody. If Borgo shows up, everybody thank him. Good evening, ma'am. Sit down and tell us all about it. Yeah, it sounds like. Did you go to therapy? Were you in therapy before, during, or after Stuttering John?
After.
And was it intensive, like 5 days a week?
No, it was 3 days a week because I couldn't deal with just the person he was. And
he's pure evil, right?
Right. And it made me wonder, was I in this business for the right reasons? Because I always gave people the benefit of the doubt. And after dealing with him, it made me wonder, should I get out of the industry? So another manager and agent suggested I go see this therapist, and I did.
Do you know Barry Katz?
Barry Katz, yeah.
Yeah, he used to be my manager. It's nice to see Miss Ricotta back. That's not Mrs. Ricotta. You know Nick Ricotta? Hey, great to see. John said he didn't do blow during it. John said he didn't do blow during the movie.
Bullshit. I call bullshit, and I'll bring 10 witnesses.
Can you get if I paid them to come on, would they come on to talk about their experiences in the movie?
Yeah, but I would have to contact them after Passover and Easter weekend, which is next week.
Okay, that's fine. When's Passover start?
Wednesday and Thursday, and my best friend is having going in for prostate cancer on Thursday.
Do you know Dave Becky?
Sounds familiar.
Dave Becky from Three Arts.
Yeah.
How about Lee Kernis? You ever met Lee Kernis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was my manager when he was at Brillstein. I don't know if he's still there.
Carl wanted me to get the line producer to attest to the fact that she quit because she couldn't handle John. She begged me to quit, even though I represented him, and that's why I took over the checks, because he wouldn't hire anyone, and she warned me about that. And so they asked me to try and find her. After John's movie, she left LA in the industry.
She's just upset because John didn't like to share. So since you were on the set and you were clean at that point, were you like outraged that there was John was bringing cocaine onto the set because you're trying to stay clean?
I was disgusted that he asked the PAs to go get him alcohol, and then he asked them to get him the drugs, and then the condoms, and that there were kids below a certain age on the set, and he was doing all this in front of them. And then when the kids found the used condoms, and the SAG teacher was never around, so they couldn't find him, and
why were the SAG teachers not around?
They were in another room. And
so when you say John was doing drugs in front of everybody, you're saying he wasn't doing it in his trailer, or he was just flaunting it?
There was no trailer. He was in one of the
makeup rooms.
No, one of those horror rooms where there's a bed and a couch and a bathroom and mirrors, and he would just lie there or on the floor, and they found the used condoms in the couch just by putting their finger under like the back of the cushion.
So when you say a whore room, is that an official title?
Yeah, because it was a whore club.
What do you mean a whore club?
Like a prostitute club.
That was part of the movie?
No, that's just what that location was.
I mean,
it was rented out for strippers and for prostitution and all that.
Wait, and this was on set?
This is where we shot. Yes, this is what the set was.
But did you need it for the movie, or you just called it that because that's where all the whores went?
No, that's what it was for them. That's what it was called.
Oh, so you were using it in the movie.
We were using, they never called it that for the movie. It was just a cheaper set. And, John wanted to save as much money as possible so he could pocket as much as he could. It didn't matter who got affected, or, some of these kids went home and told their parents what happened, and SAG contacted me, and I warned him that he's going to get penalized.
Somebody said the place that they shot was a swingers club. Is that correct?
Swingers, strippers, prostitution, all that.
It wasn't a strip club, but it was like a swingers club.
I don't know really what the difference is.
Well, a strip club is where you go inside to talk to strippers. Like, I've been to a strip club many times.
There were a lot of poles coming from top to bottom, like stripper poles, in every area of the location.
We might
So
need, we might need a private detective to because I'm a little confused. So this was this is one of the places that you shot the movie, or this was the main place.
this was the main place. The only other place we used
So
was the
basically,
parking lot.
this swingers club, you kind of that was one of your primary places to shoot, and everybody was there every day.
We shot there when we shot during the day. On the weekend we shot there, and the food, the caterers were horrible, and then and there were bugs everywhere, and then at
Sounds
night,
like why were they allowed to have kids there? There's bugs and coke and all kinds of bad things for kids.
because he needed kids for the film, and instead of making a shooting schedule that would get them in there early in the day or on the weekends only, when he was more with it, he chose to do it all at all hours.
That was convenient for him or his coke dealer.
Both.
Caron, are you taking new clients? We have an up and coming stand up comic named Ray DeVito who could use your talents. Are you taking new clients?
They have to have something spectacular for me.
That's not Ray DeVito. Is it true, Ray DeVito? I like when they get back to back Ray DeVito. Ray DeVito is one of the clown. He's one of the biggest clowns here. He's like Stuttering John, but without any credits whatsoever. Like he's an alcoholic. He smells. Everybody hates him, but he doesn't have any Jay Leno or Howard Stern credits. I want to thank Caron. I want to thank Caron for doing her hair before this. Caron, you spell your name Caron. That's odd, right?
Yeah, I was named after Leslie Caron, the dancer, ballet dancer and actress.
How did you get Keith Mars from the Circle Jerks? I think you got her mixed up with somebody else. EF66. Is Caron aware of Ross the intern and how Jay Hart openly gave Ross to do all the skits and Man on the Street interviews John should have been doing?
Ross the intern.
Yeah, so this makes sense that maybe they got Ross the intern to take over John's role, and they just kept paying John, or maybe they didn't pay him. But as far as you know, when was the last time you talked to John's wife? It's been a while, right?
Right.
So, but as far as you know, they were having money problems while you were working on a movie while John allegedly worked on the Tonight Show.
Yes, because their divorce came shortly after the movie.
Yeah, so John wasn't working out on the Tonight Show. So whether he was still there or not, we don't know. But they didn't really need him. Jay Leno thought he was going to riff with Stuttering John, but he preferred, like it said in the Wikipedia, he preferred to riff with Kevin Eubanks.
And it's funny because I saw him. Someone sent me a picture of him on YouTube, and I said, "Who the hell is that?" You sent it to me, and you said it was John. I said, "He looks like a monkey. He looks horrible. He gained so much weight."
Yeah,
And
he let himself go.
he is talking about me to his groupies about how I'm so thin. And it's just because I work out every day.
Well,
And
he says he works out too, but nobody believes him.
Yeah, but I work out literally every day. There's a difference in my weight compared to his. He must be at least 300 pounds.
Carol, on set, did they call Stuttering John Smellendez because he smelled?
People commented.
And not in a good way.
No, it was not. Nothing they said was in a good way towards him.
Yolana's your job as line producer is to cut up the coke. Yeah, is that did they make jokes about the line producer cutting up the coke since there was so much coke on set?
No, because that's what one of the reasons she quit.
Why? Because she was sick of the coke?
She was sick of the way he was behaving, drinking on set with kids.
He was doing shots with kids?
No, drinking on set while the kids
While
were
the kids, I thought you said he was drinking with the kids.
No, making the PAs run for beer and to meet dealers and stuff. It was just a disgrace, and she wanted no part of it. She didn't want her reputation going downhill.
100%. That's all you have really in Hollywood is your reputation.
Exactly.
Because jobs don't last forever. So once your one job ends, you got to get another job. So you need a solid reputation.
Exactly.
Was the masseuse named Isaiah by any chance? Diablo Sandwich has a personal question. Some of these are not going to make sense, even to me. They dropped last name because they didn't want to be. That's not why. Puerto Rican. No, they were ashamed. Plus, I think this new. They got lucky. The wife, she seems like a nice lady, but
she is.
But this new guy showed up in her life because I'm sure it's not easy to be a single mom with 3 kids and a deadbeat dad.
Yep. She got really lucky.
She had to literally take him to court because he wouldn't pay child support. She had 3 and 4 jobs. These are court documents this is not my opinion. These are court documents that state this.
She had 3 or 4 jobs.
Yep. And he wouldn't pay child support. She had to sue him for child support. And it said in the court documents, she had 3 and 4 jobs to pay to make ends meet. And he still wouldn't pay her anything until she sued him.
He is a deadbeat.
Lou Gossett Jr. was an evil brown-skinned alien who hates white people in that one movie, Diggstown, I think it was. He was acting, squirrel. Come on, give him a break. Give Lou Gossett Jr. a break. Hey, Caron, can you get Abby Leviton on, old friend? Do you know Abby Leviton? I forgot her name. She was my manager, too. I think she still manages Bobby Lee. Hey, did Lou Gossett smoke alarm beep?
From what?
I don't even know. I just wanted to thank her for taking time out of her well to do this interview. Thank you, Ozone. How often did you see John's drug and Bush Light abuse? Was it every day, and was it nonstop while he was on set?
It was every day he was on set.
He would just pound beers?
Like I told you.
But I'm sorry to cut you off, but the movie is called One Too Many. So was John saying he was drinking to stay in character? Is that what he was saying?
No, because it was never on the screen.
Interesting.
He would smoke. He would light a cigarette. He would take 2 or 3 drags. He would open a beer. He would have 2 or 3 sips. He would take a line of cocaine, snort it, put the cigarette in the beer, and then start the process again.
Kevin Brennan, just like Lou Gossett, he screws people out of money. Ask Bob Levy. Good luck collecting. He's just joking. Bob, you know Bob Levy?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, you bump Bobby. He would have loved being on that set.
Oh, Kevin is like Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah, he's kidding. He's kidding. Me and Bob had a misunderstanding about payment, but I'm the only one that pays people. Can you tell us what Carl paid you from yesterday or the day before?
Not enough. Not what I asked for.
But you asked for $1,500. What did he pay you? $100?
No, a couple hundred.
Oh, a couple hundred. Good for him. Because most of the other shows, they brag that they don't pay. Stuttering John, your boy Stuttering John, brags that he doesn't pay guests, just like he brags he didn't pay child support. He's literally a deadbeat dad, deadbeat everything, deadbeat person. She is addicted to profits to Stuttering John's Melton. All right, don't do math, NJ Ranger, you idiot. Sure it wasn't Jeff Lifschultz who was messing with kids. You know who Jeff Lifschultz is?
Yes,
Jeff
but it
Ross.
wasn't. It was John Melendez.
Look, Bob's right here. Hey, SD187, would Bob be here if we had a problem? Ask Bob Levy. Good luck collecting. And look how it is. Two chats later. The great Bob Levy. You were great and stand by me. So SD187, I expect an apology in a $50 super chat. Did Louis Gossett Jr. ever give you a Dutch oven?
What's a Dutch oven?
We don't have time to explain, but did any clients ever try to make out with you or do anything sexually inappropriate?
I've had a couple I've had to report.
Report?
Yeah, I don't date clients.
But they insisted. Was it one of them Harvey Weinstein?
God forbid, no. My friend had that happen to her.
Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah.
What'd he do?
He raped her with Epstein.
What? That's like a double header, right? Epstein and Weinstein?
Epstein, she has a little girl, so she had to leave LA for a while because the paparazzi was all over her house, her area, and her daughter couldn't go to school. And this was when Epstein was being arrested. Thank God now he committed suicide.
Wait. This is in 2019?
Yeah.
So she was affiliated with Epstein and Weinstein.
It happened when she was younger, when she was a model.
Okay, but who did it? Weinstein did it on Epstein Island?
They both did.
They both raped her?
On Epstein Island.
She got raped on Epstein Island? Can I get her on the show?
I'll have to call her.
Wow, that'd be a great guest.
Text me who you want.
I definitely want her.
Okay, well, text
And you can
me.
tell her I've never raped anybody.
Okay, well, you have to text me so I remember. And then
I will. So how should I refer to her as the woman from Epstein Island?
Just say your friend that had problems with Epstein.
Well, is she the only one that had problems with Epstein and Weinstein?
Yes.
She should get some kind of a Me Too medal or something, right?
Yeah.
Wow, she must be hot if everyone can't leave her alone.
Yeah, she's from she's not from this country. She's blonde hair, blue eyes.
Scandinavia?
Maybe.
Caron, which movie TV set had the best Coke? Caron, which movie TV set had the best Coke? Yeah, was there a particular set or a show that you worked on that had the best drugs? Well, you didn't do them, but you did for a while, but then you quit show business.
Yeah, not since I've been back.
Did John's
Coke? Yes. The drink Diet Coke.
Did John's daughter dress like a lumberjack on set?
They didn't really come on set that often.
KB, can you show a few minutes of the sitcom pilot? One son asked Caron if she would take on the lead actor as her client. Yeah, I made a pilot. They like to make jokes about me because I made a pilot. And
is your brother in the industry?
My brother Neil, he co-created the Chappelle Show. Have you ever met Dave Chappelle?
No, but I've heard great things.
He beat me at Star Search. He got lucky. 4 stars to 3 stars. Caron, where do you go up or down? Draper. You guys are good nature. A lot of good nature ribbing. Borgo's here. I should have spent it. Borga sponsor. He's co-sponsoring the episode. I should have spent the 300 on horses today instead. Okay, Caron. It doesn't take much to make Stuttering John look bad. Just be prepared. Step 1: don't come on disheveled or deranged. She came on last minute as a favor to me because people had gotten to her. I was afraid of that since you gave out your number and your contact info.
And that I didn't do voluntarily. They told me to do it.
Yeah, but
And
you didn't
I
have to do
didn't-
it. You didn't have to do it.
Well, he shared my email.
Yeah. So I thought somebody might contact you pretending to be me,
And
but
they did it first thing this morning.
pretending to be me?
Yeah.
Then you know it's not me because I don't contact anybody first thing in the morning.
Well, they said that, and I kept thinking to myself, well, he was on YouTube streaming when he invited me on, from what I understand, you.
Yeah.
And you knew that I had gotten some money from Carl because you
Right.
said it. And then in the text, it said, I didn't know you had been paid. You've been on a couple of podcasts. That was the first and only podcast I'd ever done.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I don't operate like that.
Right. And then this person just texted me right when you called me
Yeah.
to tell me to ignore the link and to go fuck myself.
Well, that sounds like me, the last part. No, I would not do that. Next time that happens, just text. Well, you have my number now. You had
Yeah.
it from before, but just text me and go, what's happening?
I was like, why is this number popping up when he doesn't have he has a New York number,
Yes.
not a Los Angeles number.
Did you work as a prograrian kid on Maury? Maury, for Carol to read. Brains. Go ahead, Carol. Caron.
I've been on a couple of the biggest talk shows.
What shows?
Lisa, Maureen O'Boyle, and Oprah.
You've been on Oprah?
Yes.
As what?
For my life story. They did a story about me, and it was supposed to be a couple of other people. The one on Lisa was supposed to have Linda Carter and the cast from this movie they were doing. When they got hold of my story, they made the whole show about me. And then I got flown to New York to do Maureen O'Boyle, where I almost died of hypothermia in the hotel because it was so cold in there. The furnace wasn't working, and it was so cold when I went. And then I did Oprah on my life story.
You were great in that. I don't know. We didn't read this yet, right? You were great in that Lynch film, Mulholland Drive, where you played the man behind. You got it mixed up with somebody else behind Winkies. As weird as you are, you 100% work with Stuttering John, so I trust you. And John couldn't get any gigs, right? I know he did the movie.
No,
You couldn't get him any gigs outside, and because you know what I've said, even if he worked for Jay Leno until Jay Leno was done, then he couldn't get another.
He wanted to hire him.
Yeah, he couldn't get another job as a writer if he was on staff at the Tonight Show for 10 years. You'd think it'd be pretty easy to get another writing gig, but John had to go drive Uber and be a substitute teacher.
He couldn't get an acting job, he couldn't get a comedy job, and he couldn't get a writing job.
He's a triple threat. He can't get any gigs at 3 different divisions. What was it like being on a set of Iron Eagle 2?
I didn't represent Lou Gossett when he was on there. I was probably like 5 years old.
Caitlin, how has Brent been? I think you got it mixed up with somebody. Were the farts in John shitting scene real? Were the farts in John shitting scene real?
I didn't watch the movie, so I don't know.
It's a good question. Hey, Karen, did Stuttering John ever hit on you?
I wouldn't give him the chance. I never wanted to be alone with him.
Yeah, his wife said the same thing, right? Hey, Karen did. Carl did the show already. Be better, KB. I'm doing it better. I'm taking it to the next level. G. Shepherdini, Vegas Beer Sells Jerry. Is that who Vegas Beer Sells Jerry is? G. Shepherdini? John doesn't have a lot of friends left, so he has these rando guys that he don't have any show business friends. All the people from the Tonight Show, Howard Stern Show, they never do a show. He just gets like these fucking weird ghoul type people.
I know. I've heard how many people hate him and how many people have hated him over the years, especially when he did that to his family.
Yep. Where can we see Karen's modeling photos?
Oh, you can't.
They didn't have the internet back then, right?
They did, but they were sold. I did lingerie modeling, and they were sold to a lingerie company.
How many times did John try to sleep with you?
I would never have given him the time of day.
You wouldn't be alone with John because you just knew you couldn't trust him.
He gave me the creeps.
Allegedly he has some kind of STD. He talks about it. Did he tell you what officially he had?
No.
How many kids did John diddle on set?
I don't know if he did.
Marco said he fired you for incompetence.
He didn't fire me. I was never fired.
The Duke said you're the one who pooped in the prop toilet.
I never went to the bathroom on set. It was disgusting.
Karen, are you worried Lou Gossett's estate might come after you for what you're saying about Stuttering John?
God forbid, no. Lou Gossett hated John Melendez.
Lou Gossett hated? How did they know each other? They went to some kind of Christmas party?
No, he knew my history with him.
So he hated him just because you hated him?
No, he hated him because he watched him on Leno and just said, what an idiot, what a fool.
How often did the Duke flex his biceps for you? Yeah, he loves to do that. He's like to show off his guns.
Who's Duke?
The Duke of the Dalvers. That'd be one Stuttering John.
Oh.
He calls himself the Duke.
He has no biceps. He's all flabby.
After this interview, the Duke looks legendary. Sure does. One too many doses of methadone. Did he smell worse than the outhouse at Woodstock?
He smelled so bad, I needed to bring air spray to spray around me to get that stench away.
Dating Ethan has really taken a toll on Scarlett. They're getting you mixed up with one of our other contestants. Rob Zombie. KB, I like this lady. No offense, man, but I bet you were a looker back in the day. She still is. Shut up, Trumpet. You were married for a long time, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I was married for 5 years. My husband died during COVID.
Yeah, I saw that. So I told you you're married for a long time. You got married later in life?
Yeah, I was. I had my son. I've been in and out of relationships, but when I got sober, my priority was focused on my sobriety and my business. And then I met my husband.
Was he in the business?
No, he came from money, but he was also in the program, or I thought he was. He got sick during COVID, and 6 months to the day of his 19-hour operation, he died.
Wait, you said you thought he was in the program, so he was lying about being in the program? So he was drinking on the side?
Yeah, he broke my trust, so I would have ended up divorcing him if he didn't pass.
How'd you find out he was drinking?
I found the bottles he had hidden.
Where'd he hide them? Under the bed?
Well, he would pour the vodka into an empty water bottle.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm kidding. I don't drink. I mean, I drink, but not like I drink. The only time I drink now is when I do a drinking show at night. I don't even like drinking anymore. Just casual.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. I spoke to someone else. He says, I hate drinking. I wouldn't trade my sobriety for anything.
Caron, Peggy, and a big dork love you. Hashtag get money. Oh, Penny and a big dork, not Peggy. How are those kids doing? Those kids are gonna like the Captain and Tennille, the Dalworth. Carol, is Neil Brennan still blackballed and Hollyweird?
Neil Brennan.
Was John ever racist or anti-LGBTQ, STUVWXYZ, and Z?
I think so.
He would make a lot of homophobic jokes.
Yes.
That's very odd. Teamster Kim, how many pensions do you have? She's getting mixed up with a Teamster Tim, who's a friend of the show, good friend of the show. Give us all your Adam Bush stories.
I don't know who Adam Bush is on the other show.
Yeah, but he was allegedly in show business for a while, but now he's not anymore. His only credit now is working for free on Who Are These Podcasts.
Adam Bush, the one that did that had words with Trump or something.
No.
Oh, okay.
When the dwarfs used seed bags were found, did Caron drain the contents into her cauldron for conjuring purposes? The dwarf is actually human garbage, and I get why people hate him now. Yeah, I still don't understand why are there used condoms laying around.
Because, well, I don't know, because we had that set booked for a month. So they couldn't have their parties there. So the only explanation is, John's prostitutes.
I'm only laughing because that's a great title.
And also, he would make the PAs buy him a large quantity of a certain kind of Trojan.
What, a mini?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
I think they call it a Bobby Lee. When are you looking for the small size of condom?
I don't know, but it made me sick to think of it.
So he wanted a small size, but he wanted a large quantity of them.
Right.
He was banging so many prostitutes.
And that's probably one of the other reasons that his wife ended up divorcing him.
Because she heard about that she heard rumors from
on
set.
Oh,
his wife was on set.
Yeah, because she was in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie. I wasn't lucky enough to see the movie, but
I didn't see the movie either.
And what did she play in the movie?
The movie is based on her.
Right, but she didn't play herself, did she?
No, she played the casting director. She wasn't going to be in it at all, and then he gave her a role.
To save money? So he wouldn't have to pay her?
No, he paid her modified low budget or ultra low budget.
Is this the ghost of Christmas never happened from a Christmas, Caron? No, you got this mixed up. Come on, you guys. Caron, do you mind if Daddy Brennan sends John a link to see if we can squash this? What's your thoughts on cats? Can you get Mrs. Buschetti to get closer to the camera? Earl, you're going to have to apologize, Earl. What projects did you pitch John for?
Not many, because no casting director wanted to even hear his name.
And so if you brought up his name, they would just kind of scoff at the whole idea of...
Yeah, they would say, no, Caron, call me when you're serious about someone.
Did Uncle Lucky bang you on set asking for Ray? Do you know, you don't know Uncle Lucky because you don't even know Ray DeVito.
Ray DeVito sounds familiar. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because we talked about him earlier. Yeah, that's the only reason he sounds familiar.
I don't know who Uncle Lucky is.
He's Ray's Ray has a Uncle Lucky, Dickie, and Bicky or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, Uncle Lucky's dead, so how lucky is he really? Just tune in. It's this producer Joe's wife. Caron.
No.
Caron, John ever performed the squeegee for you?
No.
Has she ever heard of Shillue Eager?
No.
Caron, how's the slot?
How's the what?
I don't know. I don't even know what this means. Hold on. Sometimes people get mad when I'm okay. Everything's fine. Sometimes people get mad when I look at my phone, but sometimes I get a text from like I have a family, so sometimes I get texts from I'm not like being rude. Caron, how's the slot? I think they're talking about the yeah. It's something to do with Hanukkah or something. I don't know. Does Fred Stoller live in the same complex? Yeah. Do you know Fred Stoller, the great Fred Stoller?
I don't know where he lives.
But do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Did John smell like rotten eggs? His wife complained.
He just smelled nasty, and his wife always complained.
She would complain when you went to their house that her husband smells?
She took me aside. She felt comfortable with me.
Did Jeff Ross ever ask any of the kids on a date? Because Jeff Ross likes to date them. He's like, bring them young. Just bring them and make sure they're young. Like that'll bring them young joke.
No, I don't think he did.
Hey John, KB and his guests say you stink, literally. I don't think John's gonna try to sue people for saying he stinks. So then he'd have to go to court and prove that he doesn't stink.
Yeah, right.
And the judge and the jury would have to smell him. How is Roy Munson as a stupid idiot? Did Dan Natterman cock block anyone or goo up the set? Yeah, do you know Dan Natterman?
No.
Caron, will Brian Scalaro ever pay Earl Skakel back? It's not even her business. These people they're silly gooses. All right, KB, you win. I'm ready to hear about net gross. Plus you Timmy Eagles taking it to you. Oh, Petey Jr. St. Ranger, Pam and I want to tell your guests, so glad you ignored a fake message and are on the show today. Thank you, Kevin, for your shows. Thank you, Caron.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't listen either.
Yeah, that's why. Listen, that's why I called you immediately because I was like, I don't get involved. Like I'm part of all this nonsense, but I don't get involved with like back channels and stuff. And and if I text you or I call you, I have one number and one number only. I might have two emails, but one is MLC Podcast and one is Kevin Brennan Comedian.
Right.
So I have no trickery involved.
It didn't make sense, but when I talked to someone who is a big part of your show, he said that doesn't sound like something he would do.
Was it Bob Levy? This is Bob Levy. I'm only bringing up Bob Levy. First of all, he's a fan, Caron, but second of all, he knows more about Stuttering John, the Stuttering John lore that I know. Bob used to do coke, so maybe Bob can ask you coke questions.
Yes.
No, thank you.
No, just about how much Stuttering John did on set. Bob, you have any questions about how much coke is appropriate to do on set?
Yeah, I mean, in the long days and that you can't do like a half a gram and expect to not, binge out later on. Like, was it all day and night? Like
he would do one or two lines per every
second.
No, he'd do that, then drink, and then smoke,
That's it. Yeah.
and then
When you say smoking ganja?
no cigarette.
Cigarette.
Oh, he
Go-
smoked
He would
cigarettes back
go-
then.
Cigarettes
go-
goes with coke.
Then he would go, yeah, but only like 2 drags.
Bob, why do cigarettes go with coke?
Because you need something to do. You know what I mean? And get
To
your
keep
mind
your hands busy,
Can't
so
keep
they
your
don't.
hands
Exactly.
busy.
They're already shaking. You might as well put them on your
So then you would go do his scenes, and he would come back, and he would start the whole process over.
Yeah. Would he touch the walls like when he did more coke? Would he like he walked through? He had to spin around twice because of his OCD. I know he has.
Yeah, and he would touch things, and then he wouldn't even wash his hands. He was so disgusting.
Wow.
Wait, that's from coke or from OCD or combo?
It works
Combo.
for both. Yeah.
So if you got OCD, you do coke. That makes you even more OCD.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it makes you smell more because coke will come out through your insides and make your armpit smell.
Especially when you're mixing it with beer and then cigarettes. And like I said, he would have 2 to 3 drags of cigarette, 2 to 3 sips of beer, 1 to 2 lines, and then put the cigarette in the beer.
Cigarette in the beer.
Yeah, to put it out.
Bob, you never done coke around kids, have you?
No. There's laws about that in Staten Island growing up, you know? I mean, you would be shunned, actually. You would be sent.
Bob, I mean, Stuttering John apparently did coke on set while they were kid actors.
Yeah, I don't even know how he can do it. I mean, on set. It's long days.
Because he hid in a room, but he thought people didn't know, but they knew.
This is crazy. Kevin, have you ever administered Narcan? Just curious. Carlos Dane, you mind your fucking business and come on my show once in a while, you fat fuck.
Only Saturdays.
When Caron modeled, was she the... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I heard somebody's a model you had on. Somebody hit me up and go, you got to get on. There's a model on.
No, Caron used to be a model before she became a manager.
All right, wait, there's a question from the chat. Hold on, I have to say.
Bob, we don't read the free chat.
No, I got to read this one. Were you mad that your sister let the house fall on you?
Shut the fuck up, Bob.
I'm just. This is what these fucking.
Come on, we're already behind.
Caron, ever sustained a traumatic head injury? Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Me too.
Yes. I was a victim of a brutal gang crime in 2015 at a gas station.
What?
Yeah, the prices go up. They're very high in LA, the prices.
Wait, you were at a gas station? You were yourself pumping?
I didn't even pump. I pulled up to the gas station and I got beaten so bad that the paramedics came. And then after I had 20 staples in my head, I remembered I didn't even put gas in the car. So I went back to the gas station against police's advice. And
they beat you again?
That's crazy.
No, they didn't charge me. They looked and saw that I paid, but I didn't pump the gas.
You know what they used to call me at the gas station? I used to have a problem with gas too. They called me 2 Pump Bob. I say 2 Pump. Come on, I was 2 Pump. Come on.
So how did they know you sustained just a lucky guess?
Everybody, it was on camera.
No, but how did this super chatter know?
Oh, I don't know.
What flavor vape is that?
Peachy ice.
Free plug. Is it true you currently represent Barry Sobel?
Nice.
No.
You know who he is, right?
Yes.
I think he smells a little like something too.
Yeah, no thank you. I don't represent anyone that smells.
Damn.
That's what it says on your business card.
There's a guy at the door that sniffs on people when they're walking up. Can't let you in here. Go home and shower, you filthy animal.
Caron, has Shillue Edgar contacted you? Be careful. Yeah, be careful. Especially during the holidays. They'll try to take advantage of you.
I'm a very tough cookie.
Yeah, we see that.
Yeah.
And Shillue does smell as well. So don't take him as a client.
I will not.
Hi, Karen. I have sympathy for anyone who ever worked with Stuttering John. Sounds very rough. How is your health since getting rid of him?
Much better.
Did
And
your
when you
sinuses clear up after he left?
Pardon?
Did your sinuses clear up like after he left, or did it?
No, they came on after he left.
Oh God, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Borgo, and may God bless your remaining toes. Yeah, Borgo made this happen. He's a co-sponsor.
You see, at least he had 2 smelly toes, and he just cut them off. He had
Yep.
the decency to do that.
Yeah. Does Karen suffer from multiple sclerosis? Instead of multiple sclerosis, multiple sclerosis.
No.
Karen, can you ask Whitney Cummings to give the horseback? Do you know Whitney Cummings?
Yes.
How about Ashley Cummings?
No, only Whitney.
How about Uncommon?
How did Lou prepare for the role of Pastor Jim?
I don't know. I didn't represent him at that time.
How long were you on it? How long was the filming for this movie? Was it like, what, 2 weeks? A little more?
No, it actually went into overtime because John decided after we did the budget, after the money was set, after the investors put in, he decided he wanted to go to New York and shoot some scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it was to get more coke, more and better coke?
I don't know, but he got fined for the way that the crew was treated.
Wow.
I thought he got fined for smelling bad.
No, he got fined because...
And that's really something in Manhattan because everybody smells a little something there.
The crew had to fly coach and have a layover for like a day and a half.
Layover?
Which is against SAG regulations.
Yeah.
And same with Bellamy. So
Bill Bellamy?
No, Bellamy Young. So when they were when they got back, they were fine.
Smells like Afro Sheen is what he smells like. Smells terrific.
Karen, would it be fair to say you lived 5 times before you were 40?
Yeah.
I'd say 8 times.
You're like 9 lives like a cat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, after I was a victim of the crime.
Did they ever catch it? And was it gang related?
It was gang related, and they did not catch her.
A woman beat you?
Oh yeah, she was a dyke.
Ava!
Oh!
Ava! I'm telling.
No, we got it. We can't use those words. YouTube does not like words like that.
So she was like a body of water.
Anyway,
yeah, she was from the Dutch, the way they use it.
I read the police report because
nothing triggered her, and I said triggered, Gino. Nothing triggered her to attack you.
What happened was the prices of gas were very competitive at that time, and I got in, and her girlfriend was trying to get in, and her girlfriend told me to go into the pump first.
Mm-hmm.
And she got out of her car and she thought I was calling the cops, and I'm like, why would I be calling the cops? You didn't do anything. I turned around, she took my cell phone and she threw it across the parking lot. My mistake was I turned my back towards her. That's when she lifted me up and threw me towards the cement and started beating on me, and everybody was on their phones with the police and paramedics, and nobody tried to get her off me until they heard the police coming, and the girl she was with dropped her off at the train station and came back because they had her license plate. She, even though she had a little kid with her, she wouldn't give up because she was part of the gang and she knew her mother would take care of the kid. So she went to jail, but she didn't give her up.
Wow.
Can I ask you a question? So the 2 water women, we'll call them, right?
And can I just say, this is kind of topical, and you're saying the price of gas was high. That's why you think everybody was on edge?
Yeah.
It was the lowest gas station in all of Los Angeles.
Oh, I see. So I'm just saying, if you're out getting gas now, everybody might be on edge again. So if you're at one of those cheap gas station places,
be careful.
Yeah, be patient and don't pick somebody up and drop them on their head.
If somebody pulls up with a woman's softball team pulls up, just drive away from the pump.
I had PTSD from gas stations for a very long time.
So now you drive electric?
No, I drive a hybrid.
Oh. No, because then you don't have to go to the gas station if you drive electric. Yeah, but same with a hybrid.
Did the women the two women, did they have problems trying to get the holes into their car? Were they not used to that? And that's why they were angered, because they couldn't put the nozzle in because they're not used to it?
And were they wearing colors like Bloods and Crips?
One was wearing all black.
God damn it.
And I don't remember what and a bandana, but I read the police report and I didn't know that she was half African American, half Latina.
That's a dangerous combination.
So she only beat you half to death?
No, that when the paramedics got there, I had blacked out, and they
like
were
Stuttering John's arm.
They were putting a thing around my neck, and I said, "What are you doing? I got to go meet a client," because that's what I was going to do. And they said, "You're not going anywhere. You're going to the hospital. If we would have gotten here 1 second later, you would be dead." Damn. And I touched my head and I looked over at the cement and there was puddles of blood. And I said, "Whose blood is that?" And the paramedic said, "Yours."
Wow. Puddles of blood. I opened for them in 92. I did. Thank you.
Caron, do you sleep on a silk pillowcase? Great hair.
Thank you.
Yeah. My wife, well, I'm not going to dox anything, but my wife has to sleep on special pillowcases because of her hair. She's not half Hispanic. She's fully Hispanic.
I'm not Hispanic.
No, I'm saying, but the women that beat you did.
Yeah. I'm
So every day I count my blessings when my wife doesn't beat me.
I'm half Canadian and half American and English.
How about one positive Stuttering John super chat? I'll wait. We don't have that kind of time. Positive Stuttering John super chat. Don't be ridiculous. This lady's credibility died of an overdose. Shut your mouth, AOC. Is there anything positive you can say about Stuttering John?
No.
Nothing. Did he ever make you laugh? Did he give you a funny nickname?
The one positive I could say is when I first took him on, his kids really loved him. You could see that they really adored him.
That's good.
And how that went from his kids really loving him to disowning him and now dropping his last name just blows my mind.
Bob, tell her how that happens.
Well, I heard that they dropped their first name.
I'm probably making a joke. That's what happened with your own kid. I'm kidding, of course. Bob has a great relationship with his own kid.
Oh yeah, I seen him last night.
Yeah, but that is some trajectory where when you met them, they loved their dad, and now they're changing their last name and changing what they look like, so they won't recognize them if they run into each other at the mall.
Right, and also with Susanna, when I met her, his ex, they were very much. It seemed like they were very much in love, but I guess that was just an act for everybody.
Yep. Here's an actual question. Were there any projects or roles that were actually offered to Stuttering John that he turned down or accepted?
There was nothing offered to him ever.
You couldn't even get a meeting with anybody?
Nobody wanted anything to do with him.
Wow. And this is when he allegedly worked on the Tonight Show. Nobody would take a meeting with him.
No.
That's insane.
I don't think Jay Leno was giving him good references.
Oh, that's probably what it was.
Because...
Yeah, they probably went through Leno and the producers there and they were like, "Yeah, you don't want
When-
to deal with this guy."
When I called them, they already knew because I would submit online and then I would wait 10 minutes and then I would call. And in between them seeing my submission, Leno's people, when I would call, they were like, "Don't call us about Melendez anymore."
Can you tell us about your experience?
People.
You guys, it's not the same person. Founded the geriatric dating site.
So why would I want a geriatric my company when I was in my?
We're looking for some. What do? You're cast?
No talent manager.
He's
That
got
was
a smell.
just my biggest mistake, but we're sold Necessary Roughness.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sold that to Sony, and then Universal and Warner wanted it, but he went with Sony because Sony didn't have any specific deals, especially with network, and he didn't want Warner, who had a deal with CBS. He wanted either a streamer or cable.
It's unnecessary roughness. I used to call that when I masturbated. I used to rough it up. You know what I mean?
John Segura, when you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Yeah, that's what they say about Stuttering John. You lie with dogs, you get fleas. That's a fact, Jack.
Now, what made you come out about John now, like after all this time?
Were you chomping at the bit? And when Ben Ratner contacted you, you're like, thank God somebody finally reached out.
I actually had tried contacting him with my attorney years ago, but it didn't go anywhere. I threatened him to sue him and to pay me what he owed me.
He still has no money. His mom had.
And I hear he treats her like shit.
He does.
He contacted me, I want to say last Friday. Friday. And asked me if I'd be interested in doing a podcast about John Melendez. My first answer was no.
Yeah, because you don't want to relive this, right?
Yeah,
right. I didn't want any part of it, but he said that people deserve to hear the truth about what happened on that set, and since I was there every day, as a producer and as his manager, even though I worked all day in my office. He wouldn't even give me a day off.
Now, when you do your podcast Behind the Stench, the John Melendez story, like when is that going to come out, you think? Like when are you going to start doing it?
I'm not doing a podcast.
No.
But when they approached me again, I said, okay, I didn't know about the people that make comments or that they would give out more than just my email.
Yeah.
And say that the manager and all that. So
Jess Angel says this is one of the best shows, boss. Thank you. I think it's one of the top 10. Top 10 of all time. Caron, Dawn of the Dead was a great movie, right?
Who was in Dawn of the Dead? We
don't have time. Oh, Skybrick, thank you. I forgot Skybrick gave me $50 yesterday, and he I think they also let me shout out yesterday Stokely, Skybrick, and Jay Harper from the other day, and everybody every day. So thank you. But I was gonna be dismissive of Skybrick. A lot of these things are inside jokes.
Yeah.
Caron, and they're trying to make the other people watching the show laugh. And but Dawn of the Dead is a good movie, isn't it, Bob? Were you an extra on Dawn of the Dead, Bob?
Yeah, yes. I was 27 when that movie came out. When we did it, it was very good. No makeup at all. It was amazing.
Big fan, Caron. Would you say you're tighter with the three-eyed raven or the Night King?
Neither.
It's the right answer. First of all, I can't even. All right. Caron is either taking drugs she's not supposed to or not taking drugs she's supposed to.
I'm not taking any drugs.
No.
Are you on any prescriptions?
Yeah.
Just to sleep.
I take Lipitor.
I take trazodone.
Trazodone is a very good sleeping thing. I take that too.
Yeah, but that's all I take.
That was for something else. They came out with that for it was for some other kind of thing. Then they realized it helps people sleep real good.
Right.
Thank you, Christopher Martin. John said he fired you. Why did he fire you?
He never fired me. He's a lying piece of crap.
And a pack too.
How aware are you Caron with John's nastiness, his doxing, calling the police, etc.? Yeah, you're not worried he's going to sue you, right?
What would he sue me with?
Yeah, you can't sue somebody for telling the truth.
I have evidence that he burned me, and I have evidence of him using on set, and I have people that will come forward.
That was for something else. They came out with that for it was for some other kind of thing. Then they realized it helps people sleep real good.
Right.
Thank you, Christopher Martin. John said he fired you. Why did he fire you?
He never fired me. He's a lying piece of crap.
And a pack too.
How aware are you Caron with John's nastiness, his doxing, calling the police, etc.? Yeah, you're not worried he's going to sue you, right?
What would he sue me with?
Yeah, you can't sue somebody for telling the truth.
I have evidence that he burned me, and I have evidence of him using on set, and I have people that will come forward.
So he burned. Was this in Salem, Massachusetts? I don't know. Man.
He burned me for $40,000.
My God.
Is Caron third input asking for the Duke? That's a sexual suggestion.
Gross.
I know.
Yeah, sex is gross.